AJ, it had been a long time since you played in the game. How did it feel?
Felt great. It was fun. Everything that I was hoping to get out of it. It's just great to practices, kind of monotonous when you get to camp. So it's nice to go out there and go compete against somebody else.
Do you think about the neck at all, like before a game like that?
I told you last week, man, I don't think about it during practice. Dang sure don't think about it in the game. I'm just trying to think of how to get in the end zone, how to get the first down, or whatever situation we're in.
Kind of on that, just in a general sense about how running backs in their past, going through college and going into the NFL, if you go back in college, is that a situation where you'd like to split carries, because you had a lot of work there?
I really don't. It's really not something that factors into my mindset. In college, I think I had like 25 carries a game. So, I didn't really split too much in college. My junior year, my last year, I did a little bit. But I split carries a lot in Green Bay. We had Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams, Josh Jacobs the last year. So, it's not really something that factors into my game day routine or whatever, because it's football. And you guys know, as good as anybody, could be anybody's day. God forbid something happens. So, just kind of always prepare and be ready for whatever the workload is.
Does that change when, as you mentioned, at BC you carried it a lot? Did that change in Green Bay when you were part of that process?
Well, yeah, just naturally. I was a rookie coming in. They had Jamal and Aaron Jones in their fourth year. So just naturally, just kind of the way the league goes. But, there's been games I've started. There's been games I've, as a rookie, didn't get many carries. There's been games somebody gets hurt, and then I got to play the whole game. I'm the only running back in the situation. So, I feel like that, how many carries, when I'm getting the carries, that doesn't really affect me. I'm just excited to get out there and play.
It sounds like, there is a random element to careers and such. So, but is there any benefit, do you think, early on to kind of have load management from the beginning?
I don't know. That's not for me to say. I haven't ever, I played Madden a little bit, but I really haven't had any, role managing the team over years and seeing all that, science behind load management. But if you can keep your hot hand fresh and you have reliable guys that can pick up the load, that's great. And so obviously we got Saquon, who's one of the best in the world. So it's great to be here, obviously compete and continue to work with him, but also watching the games last year, if there's games like, hey, we can give him a blow, it's great to have guys who can come in and, help out, contribute.
Sorry, when you miss a full year like you did, how long does it take for your pass receiving skills to kind of come back, like riding a bike type of thing where it just happens?
I've been playing football my whole life since I was 7, 8 years old. So, it wasn't like I was just up on the couch not being a part of football at all. I was still, part of the Packers last year. I was still on the team. I was still at the games, still in the facility, still working out. I did a lot of great working out down in Bonita Springs in Florida, at CTP. And, they got me right. I was down there like Matt Milano, BC guys, down there in Gardner Minshew. So you got a lot of work in the off season. So I feel like kind of, just like you said, riding a bike, getting back out here.
What did you know about Tanner McKee coming here, and what impressed you most about his performance on Thursday?
Yeah, I didn't know much about Tanner. We do have some mutual friends, but he's exactly what you want a quarterback to be. He's a great leader and very personable, and somebody I've definitely grown a little closer to throughout the OTA and camp process. And I was excited to see him go out there and have a great preseason game. And I think in the game, something that surprised me, not being a part of the Eagles, really seeing him and, his growth throughout his career, but just kind of being the new guy, is his poise out there was good. And I know it's a preseason game, it's the first one, but still, it's still game atmosphere. Somebody who obviously we have Jalen Hurts, so he's the backup coming in, and he handled that QB1 role and demanded everybody be on the same page in that huddle, which I was really impressed by.
You mentioned practice can get monotonous at times. Are you excited for Cleveland to come in this week to maybe see a different color?
We just saw a different color. We just played a preseason game. We'll play 2 more. I don't really have a stance on joint practices. I think the way that this organization is run and the way everybody here practices is, whether it's different color, whether we have pads or no pads, you're going to get your best effort. When we're on that field, we work. And so, it's always great to get a different look, but really doesn't change anything in my mind, who's out here, when they're practicing, who we're practicing against. It's practice. We're all going to put our best foot forward, and we're going to work. That's what we do here.
When it comes to Tanner and the poise he showed, what signs do you look for from a quarterback that he has that?
I'd say like a lot of the delivery. It can be really loud in the huddle. Sometimes you're trying to scramble. Or I remember we had a 2-minute drive right before half, and you're trying to hurry, and there's a lot of intensity behind it. But to be able to deliver to everybody, hey, this is a play in a calm, easy way, and everybody's locked in, dialed in. When you see guys kind of like looking around, and it's like not that they don't respect the quarterback or anything like that, but it's just like you demand a presence. I always think of it like a dad voice. I have a 2-year-old son, so when I'm like, hey, no, like he's looking at me. And so, I think Tanner did a really good job of just being in there, delivering, and then obviously playing a really accurate and efficient game, or half, however long he played. Perfect. Thank you.
What did you think of Tanner McKee's performance on Thursday?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. It was a really cool opportunity, especially for me to go out there and, play alongside of him. Being that we had that last game together last year, it was pretty cool to experience that moment. But, I think he did a fantastic job. I think he's doing a fantastic job every day at camp, making plays, commanding the offense. He's a great quarterback, and he's showing you guys that.
I'm sure you've been asked this a million times, so I apologize. But the benefit of being here for an entire offseason versus coming in as late as you did last year. Can you explain?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for me is the playbook, right? And understanding what you're doing, and that just enables you to play that much faster. So being that I got an entire offseason here, OTAs, training camp, and learning the playbook day by day, and kind of that process slows down a little bit, but it enables you to play even faster on the field. I would say that's the biggest difference for me, and just being comfortable out here, not worrying about what split I'm in, what I'm doing, knowing exactly where I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be there, and making plays.
Was that running through your mind last year?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Every day coming out here, it was kind of a surprise, a surprise of what's going to be next, but you know exactly what's going to be next now, and that enables me to play that much faster.
You put video up of you now versus, last September. Would it look a lot different?
A lot different. I'm a completely different player than I was last year, mentally and physically, I feel like. And I feel like that tape would look completely different.
What are things that when you first got here that you look back on now that you kind of laugh about your understanding of it a year ago?
Not really. It's just the involvement you have as a player, and the progress that you continue to have from the work that you put in. I feel like from 365 days ago to now, I'm a completely different player because of the work I put in, and the things I've learned over the last year, and those have enabled me to enhance my game, and yes, so I feel like I'm a completely different player from last year, and I'm looking to showcase that every single day.
And with that, there has to be a trust between the quarterback and the wide receiver. Can you talk about the growth that you felt with Jalen?
Yeah, night and day, to be honest with you. Last year, coming in when I did, it's really hard for you to kind of simulate that timing on the field, because I was kind of thrown right into the fire from day one, and it was kind of like, all right, go out here and plug and play. And as a quarterback, you don't know when a guy is going to be there because you don't know his speed. You can't adjust that of just someone plugging and playing. But those reps that I've had with him during the off season, whether here or wherever, it's enabled him to know where I'm going to be in certain routes, and it's built our trust over that time.
How did you spend away from him here in the offseason?
What was that?
Did you spend time away with him away from here in the offseason?
Yeah, I was with him down in Houston for a couple of weeks. We were working out, having throwing sessions about every week. So that was good to build the trust and the connection.
When you and Jalen were in Houston, how much confidence did you gain just from spending, just that extra time with him and seeing how Jalen processes everything?
Yeah, a lot. Just because I can kind of talk through things with him, talk through certain routes with him, understand where he wants me to be. Sometimes, it's not the same for every quarterback. So, understanding what he's looking at and where he wants me to be on the field at certain points, it is translating here in training camp. So, I feel like it paid off for sure, and it was good to get those reps in.
About how he wants a route run or the intricacies of it.
Extremely, because he wants to succeed. He doesn't want a drop off. I feel like going back to last year when we played Tampa Bay and Smitty and AJ were out, and it was kind of me out there. We didn't have that connection. We didn't. It was I think 2 weeks, 3 weeks that I had been throwing with them. So just when those opportunities come, whether those two, someone's not practicing or someone's not playing, feeling like there's no drop off, so that he's comfortable with me, and I'm comfortable with him.
Is that timing more important when you are like the primary read for Jalen, or when you're like a secondary, tertiary read for him?
Both. It's both, because I'm going to be in every position. So whether I am the first read or the fourth read, knowing that timing, whether he's working the front side or he's working his footwork to get all the way backside on a route, knowing where I'm supposed to be and when I'm supposed to be there is huge. It's huge for the quarterback, and it's big for me, just knowing how much time I have to win my route, and building that over time is big.
Does that carry over to off schedule too?
Yeah, for sure. Now that kind of stuff you have to really work during these practices when you get the chance to. It's kind of hard to simulate that, obviously, when you don't have players on the field. But yeah, that stuff we're kind of working day to day.
You did return some punts, obviously. You did at Penn State. If you were to be a punt returner again at this level, what do you think you provide?
Big playability. I feel like that's what I provided my time at Penn State. Any chance I get to have the ball in my hands, I feel like I can make a play. So that'd be a pretty cool opportunity for me. I was kind of pushing that narrative a little bit last year. So yeah, hopefully I get those opportunities, and if they do come.
How natural is it for you just to return kicks?
Returning punts is pretty natural for me. I did it all 4 years while I was in college. So yeah, it's pretty natural.
Thank you.
Corey, what were those 24 hours like where you found out you're traded, next thing you're in Philadelphia? Just take us through those emotions.
Man, probably the most craziest time, that I've been around. But everything just kind of happened fast. I found out I was traded around like 5:36, got on the flight at 11:30, red eye, landed here at 7. So I didn't really have too much sleep on the plane to really process everything. But, man, it's a blessing to be here. And, man, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to be the best version of myself.
Do you have a sense that it was going to happen, a trade? I mean, I know they were down on the third team, I guess, a lot.
All right. I want to say, yeah, kind of. Just, just felt like I was looking outside, looking in. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, like I don't really have too much control over it. Did I have a sense? A little bit, but not too much.
First impressions here, obviously, very short time, but
Yeah, man, it's great. Like it's been like great culture, great guys, man. Everybody know everybody. Everybody's cool with each other, and they just want the best for each other. And so that's a blessing, And so that's good, man. I just want to kind of come in and just do my part, whatever that is, and just kind of help the team win some more games.
Last season you were progressing and then playing through pain and then ultimately the injury.
Right.
What was that process like, getting into the off season, getting healthy?
Man, just the same process that as always is during the off season. Just trying to work. You know what I'm saying? Have well done work, because I know when you put the work in now, all you gotta do is just go collect what's ever out there for you. And so, man, I just had my head down grinding and just want to kind of build off from last year. Because I felt good mentally, physically, emotionally, and like you said, had the shoulder, whatever. And so I'm just trying to build off that.
How's the shoulder now?
Shoulder better than ever. Yeah.
Is what they teach you here, technique-wise, do you have a sense it's a lot different than what you had before?
I feel like football is football, So you go press, you go play off, you go tackle. Like schematically, is it different? Yes, but technically with techniques, man, it's all football.
How about the schematics? Will that be a challenge to get down so quickly?
No, I wouldn't say challenge. I feel like I'm a person that loves to prepare, you know what I'm saying, that needs preparation. So, I'm gonna do everything I have to do to study the right way and just catch up to where the guys are at now.
How do you go about digesting a new playbook?
Say it again.
How do you go about digesting a new playbook?
Man, adjusting to a playbook, it's just kind of getting the basics, getting the basics, and then conceptually, football doesn't really change that much. Like, you have different terminology and stuff like that, but if you know the game and just know conceptually what, because cover 4 is cover 4, cover 3 is cover 3, so yeah.
How do you view?
Coming here and compete for a starting job?
Man, I'm just trying to go out here and be the best version of JB. Like, I know the player I am, I know the player I can be, so whatever that is, man, like, and that's football. Like, you always want to compete, and so, man, I just want to go be the best version of myself.
The outside looking
When,
at
you and Keely were like obviously in the same draft class. I think you went like one pick ahead of him and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you know about him? Have you gotten a chance to like talk to him and everything? What do you think about?
Yeah, I knew Keely before, just a little bit, just kind of like through the combine process, and now he's a good guy, man. And like, we keep in touch with each other, and so, he's a good guy. He's helped me with the playbook and stuff, so, he's a great dude.
Do you remember that pre-draft process and whether there was a lot of interest from the Eagles? Just they were looking, as mentioned, you were one pick in front of Keely. Do you remember that?
Yeah, the Eagles, I feel like that was one of my best meetings, just kind of, they were just telling me the scheme and stuff and just kind of getting to know them and them getting to know me. And so it felt like a good fit. So it's a great organization, man. I'm just glad to be here.
It is a quick transition to get in. How's Christian Parker like bringing you into this and obviously getting some time out there today?
Yeah, for sure. CP, he's a great coach. Like, man, one of the smartest people I've been around. Just when I meet with him, it's just like he really teaches you the game, like the football one-on-one stuff. And so, man, he's a good guy to have in my corner. And so I'm gonna just continue to have my ears open for all the info he has for me.
There's not many professions where you get a call and then you're on a plane to a different city, different organization in just a couple hours. What were the thoughts and emotions as you're on that plane?
It really wasn't like, because it happened so fast, it really wasn't any like thoughts. Man, I'm just blessed to play this game. Like, a lot of people really don't get a chance to play, like the 1%. And I went JUCO first, and so I seen a statistic to where it's like 0.04% players that went JUCO make it to NFL. So, man, I'm 0.04%. So, man, I'm just blessed wherever I play. So.
We saw you out here in that first practice, just watching. What was that like on no sleep, just out of the new practice field?
Man, I was just trying to fly around, man, hit whatever I see.
The first practice, like you were out here watching that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, it was great. It was great, man. Just this is a winning organization, and so just kind of having that culture, having that feeling, yeah, it's definitely different, and so, yeah, man, it was fun. I guess to answer your question.
That was an early practice. I mean, what time was your flight getting here?
My flight got here at 7. Yeah.
So it's a bit early.
Yeah, I had like 5 hours to pack, so I just tried to pack like 2 suitcases, man, and get my cleats. Yeah, so.
What you still left in that room?
Say it again.
How much did you leave behind? You still have
Oh, bro, man, my whole house there, so car, everything. So yeah, I'm gonna figure that out.
What opportunity do you see for yourself here?
Say it again.
What opportunity do you see for yourself here?
Man, I just see an opportunity just to compete, man, and just do whatever I can to just help the team win, man. Because at the end of the day, I know the type of player I am, man, and I just want to help the team win, man. I'm a team first guy, so.
For those who don't know you, what type of player are you?
Man, I'm a guy that's gonna do my job. I'm gonna play hard, and man, I'm just gonna prepare the right way. And whatever the coach need me to do, I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability. And man, they go get a dog.
What clicked in between that all season?
Man, honestly, it's just, I would say just experience. When you see something so many times, like it starts to slow down. And when stuff starts to slow down, now you can just go out there and just play, be free, and just have fun. And so that's when I'm at my best. Like when I'm not thinking, I'm just out there just playing.
You think the game slowed down for you?
Yeah, like you said, going into my second year. Like second year was my best year, obviously, but just from that rookie year, I just really couldn't like anticipate stuff like how I wanted to. But that second year, man, I was just out there playing like who I know I am.
spending some time with Quinyon and Keeley after practice. What do you know about Quinyon in particular coming here, and what have been your impressions of getting to spend some time with him?
I didn't know him personally, but I knew he was a great player. You know, I knew he was like up and coming, one of the top corners in the league. And so, you know, talking to him, man, just kind of giving me some info about the playbook, different techniques and stuff. And I definitely feel like we're going to make each other better for sure.
What was the communication from the Raiders on the way out? Did they kind of explain what was happening and kind of have a last chance to talk to you?
Not really. It was just, you know, just saying they didn't really want to do it, whatever. And, you know, it was nothing crazy. You know, I know business is business, man. So they did what's best for them. And the Eagles just did what's best for them. And so, hey, man, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be an Eagle. Hey, man, I'm just ready to win some games and just do what I do.
What difference do you see in Jordan? Now 330. Sounds like he was up in the mid-350s last year.
Yeah, just continue to see the growth and maturity in him and kind of finding his way. This whole process started really in the middle of last season for him to kind of find this newfound path of freedom and his body feeling excellent and whatnot. And that happens sometimes. He's still a young guy. You know, sometimes we forget that. These guys are still maturing and growing, but love where he's at, his energy on the field, his communication, second year in the same defense. All those things are going really, really, really well.
What was it in the middle of the season that changed?
I think it's just like as a young guy, when you want more and you want to be able to play more and contribute more, which I know has always been important to him, you know, you're here to play football. You're not a bodybuilder, you know, and we know he has, you know, freakish numbers in terms of what it was at the combine. But at the end of the day, you know, there's a certain weight to be able to continue to move and do the things every down as a, you know, first, second down player, but also third down guy. And it takes some time to figure that out for guys, and I believe he has. And it's been awesome to watch.
You think he's ready to be a third down guy?
He's ready to go and contribute and keep competing where he is right now.
With Morrow, to us it seems like he's taken a big step forward. What about his game resonates?
Effort and energy, but from a measurable standpoint, length, violence in his hands, his awareness as a football player to recognize blocking schemes, to communicate protections, where the games are. He's at the point now where he can come to the sideline and be able to tell me, hey, coach, you're sitting on this. What about this? You know, he's starting to turn into a coach on the field with his level of intelligence. So to see that and then his confidence level because he knows he can do those things and he's right when we have those discussions, it's impressive to see him do that now.
I guess conversely, the question is he ready to be a rundown guy?
Yeah, he's an every down player. We don't see him as a role guy.
Do you think Gabe Hall is kind of ready to step into Tom's Booker kind of spot and everything like that? How have you seen his progress?
Gabe has done really well. You know, just his development since last year when he got in here has been really good. But I would say this, it's not so much about one guy replacing Book, because right now all those guys are competing. It's a very deep group. So between Gabe, like with Ty, BY, you know, all those guys are still competing for that spot. Like Book was very valuable for us last year. We hate to see him go. You know, but those things happen. But those guys are all competing for that same spot right now.
What was Gabe's reaction to that trade?
For all of us, it hurts because it's not just about the football player. We really appreciate the guy, the man that he is, and so sorry to see him go. But we're also, guys understand the opportunity that presents itself there for him as well. He has an opportunity to potentially play more. We're hoping for him there. We know the kind of football player he is, so he can do that. And so that part sucks, but we're happy for him too at the end result.
What do you think of Ty so far?
Ty's done really well, but he's a typical rookie, still learning and growing, trying to master his craft. You know, from a playbook standpoint, there's not a lot on the D-line guys, but from the technique and fundamental point, when you're playing in there with grown men, there's a lot. And but he's a eager learner. He reminds me a lot of a Jomo in that aspect of it. Like, they're hungry for knowledge and know the why to everything, which I enjoy teaching that, because I think that accelerates their development.
Jalen Carter told us the other day that he feels like he can take a bigger responsibility this year when he already played so many snaps last year. How do you balance that?
You put that challenge on his shoulders, see him do that. I'm happy that he wants that on him, and he's shown that in meetings and whatnot and continuing to grow. So he's still not even close to where he could potentially be. So just got to keep pushing and challenging every day, and he'll answer the bell.
You said he shows it in meetings. What do you mean by he shows it in meetings? Have you seen him grow?
Asking the right questions. You say he wants more of the leadership, call out the protection, set the games and things like that, and call stuff out. That's what I mean by that. So in the meetings, it starts there because you got to make sure you're ready to answer those questions and handle those situations on the practice field before it even gets to the game. So that's where it starts at, and he's just always asking the why. When guys don't ask questions, there's a problem. Either they're not engaged or they don't know what the hell's going on, so they're afraid to ask.
Do you have a specific person out there that you're training with?
Yeah, Ryan Capretta. Ryan Capretta is the guy I train out there with. He's a great guy.
He was a strength coach for about 10 years. The facility is nice, so they take care of us. And, it's a one-stop shop. We got a chef and everything now.
How'd you get the concussion?
Oh, man, I'm just happy to be back out here, just back to work, man. I'm just, certain plays, it just went fast and it went by, and I'm just happy that I went through all the stuff right and just got back out here ready to play.
And then the triceps, how are you adjusting to it? Do you feel back to 100% yet?
Man, I'm getting there. I'm getting there every day. Every day I'm out here. That's why it was so crucial to me to get back out here and just trying to make sure that's right. That's what I'm focused on, just getting my body ready to play a certain amount of snaps.
And after watching that preseason performance, what do you think of the pass rushers as a whole? What were your observations?
Man, boy, we got some mean get-offs, man. Those guys are fun. Hey, they get out there and then they be working. So I'm happy for them to be in my group, happy for me to work with them, and I'm learning things from them just like they learning from me.
And you see Jahan Campbell there at middle linebacker. Vic Fangio was telling us that obviously he has the athletic ability, but he doesn't feel like he's quite ready to be a pass rusher. What do you think it's going to take to get him ready in that regard?
Oh, man, I'm going to leave that up to the coaches. That ain't my call. That ain't my business. But whenever he's ready, I'm here to help him and give him all my tools and stuff, just like, Sweat did for me and Haas did for me.
You mentioned some of those edge guys, some of those depth guys. Josh especially seems like an unconventional rusher from an outside perspective. What about him is unique?
Oh, man, his get off, his lateral movement, certain things that he does, man, he's just unique. I learned a lot from him. I did a couple of his moves today, and so we just try to feed off each other and work off each other.
I saw you got Mailata with an inside move today. Did you see that one where he kind of got?
Yeah, man. I mean, we all have bad reps and bad plays, but man, I think Jordan's one of the best tackles that we have.
With the triceps, have you talked to BG about how often do you talk to him about all that?
Man, I talk to him almost every day. I need to call him more. I told him that I'm going to start calling him, twice a day if I need to, 3 times a day, because that's my guy. And his tricep look way better, and it's doing good. It's taking care of it. He taking care of himself. He done slimmed down a little bit. So, man, I love seeing him, get back healthy and get his tricep, in a good place.
Has he given you any advice?
Just keep
on the tricep front.
Oh, on the tricep front?
Yeah.
Oh, no, man. I'm working on mine. Mine look pretty good. I'm just trying to get my strength back. Yeah. But, man, he just tell me keep my head down and keep working.
And especially when you're not getting those preseason game reps, how excited are you to go against another team here this week with the Browns?
Oh, I can't wait. Dylan. This is the real test. I can't wait. It's just I'm very excited, and just, that's all I can really say is I can't wait.
With the joint practices, for you edge guys, getting away from Lane and Jordan for a few practices, is it especially?
Oh, yeah, it's a blessing. I call it a blessing because, man, working against Lane all day and Jordan, man, those guys are some of the best in the business, like I mentioned, and they help me out. They help me out, and they help me learn things. And I talk to Lane personally all the time, like, what'd you see? How can I be better? What can I do better? And that's really about it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Obviously seeing a bunch of familiar faces. And I know that scheme pretty well, getting to run the scout team for some years over there. So I think it'll be fun. It'll be a good week.
Did you know Shador at all when he was coming out?
Not really. I mean, I think we crossed paths a couple of times with football things and camps and stuff like that. But don't know him too much personally. But I've heard a lot of great things about him.
You said you didn't feel like there was a moment it clicked. As an outsider, It looked like about maybe 5 or 6 practices into this. You just look better.
Yeah.
I mean, is that just a natural progression in a new offense? Did you feel that? Did you feel like?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more so a natural progression. Obviously coming in OTAs and everything, you are kind of at the bottom of the depth chart, and you kind of got to work your way through getting some reps here and there. But I think we found ways outside of those practice reps to really get mental reps in, walkthroughs, throwing routes on air to guys and stuff like that. So just trying to take advantage of everything I'm given right now.
The chemistry with the younger receivers,
Yeah.
we saw Coop kind of show out in the preseason game. How has that developed? Some of those guys, Elijah Cooks, Terrace Marshall.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of my job, especially being the 3rd or 4th quarterback here. Is obviously getting myself up to speed, but also getting the guys that I'm going to be playing with up to speed. So I think that really helps not only them, but me obviously just getting to be able to relay the notes and relay the things that we're being taught in the meeting rooms. And so I think that's kind of why we've gelled so close. Is because those guys kind of lean on me and Kyle and Tanner and things like that to, kind of get them up to speed or make sure where everybody's on the right page.
As someone who has had standout preseason performances in your career, what kind of perspective do you have on what Darius has gone through? Cooper?
Yeah, I mean, you can be talked about highly one day and forgot about the next. And so I think that's the main thing is just,
you can kind of pat yourself on the back for that performance. But it's at the end of the day, everybody knows it's preseason, and so it's really about being able to show that you can execute your job. And that the coaches can trust you when your name is called. So I think he's doing a really good job, as well as the rest of the rookies are. So.
And you mentioned fighting for that third spot on the depth chart. How has maybe your experience helped you in that regard, that you've been through this before?
Yeah, it's definitely helped me out a bunch. I think I said the last interview I was kind of helping Kyle out with his rookie mistakes and things like that, and trying to iron those out before he gets out there in live action. So it's been fun. Like I said, that's probably why I seem so more comfortable out here coming into year 3. Is just being able to settle in, have a routine, and a foundation to fall back on. So,
yeah, you talked about going from one direction to a team that's had success and everything. I think Browns have won 1 playoff game since Bernie Kosar was there. Eagles been in 3 Super Bowls in 8 years. Yeah. Do you feel like a new lease on life? I mean, what's it like going from that to this?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, football is football. Obviously the Eagles have done it right for a long time, and so being able to get to see that process behind the scenes has been fun. And I've definitely learned a lot in these 4 or 5 months that I've been here. But I'm really excited for this new opportunity, excited for a new chance, a new life for my career, and trying to take full advantage of it because, it could be here today and, like I said, gone tomorrow. So.
What's the biggest thing that you kind of wanted to work on over the offseason, and how do you think that's kind of transpiring so far with what you've seen in camp?
Yeah, I think just, being consistent. I think every play, having a consistent plan for execution and being able to execute that. All the other little things will take care of itself. I have a great arm and feet up under my legs, but being able to kind of put it all together, I think, with this offense, one that fits me more into my skill set, and just being able to play free.
Yeah, obviously, the running aspect, I mean, Jalen clearly has that. I mean,
Right.
How much does that help you being with a quarterback like that?
Yeah, I mean, it helps a ton. We talk about it a lot, just, kind of what he's seeing from the rush and things like that. And he even asked Tanner some questions on what it's like, not being able to run almost and kind of getting that perspective. So it's funny, but I think me and Jalen definitely work well off each other. He's learning off of me just like I'm learning off of him, which is surprising with how much success he's had, but it's been fun so far.
You mentioned the fit. You feel like this offense fits you more. Aside from the obvious, like the element of the quarterback run game, is there something about this offense that you feel like is a really good fit for you?
I feel like a lot of that credit goes to Chip Kelly, my former college coach. I feel like he's brought a lot of those similar concepts, and just the way that they talk about progressions here, and how friendly the offense is with the quarterback in terms of getting different guys, different route options, and protection responsibilities up front. I think just helps out a bunch with, just the overall quarterback thought process, and just kind of minimizing mistakes from a mental standpoint.
And it seems like everyone is talking about Tanner McKee after his preseason performance. What have you seen from him on the practice field that maybe translated to that?
Yeah, rightfully so. Tanner's working his butt off. I think Coach LaFleur has been doing a great job of just holding us accountable with the little things. I think at times when bullets are flying, you can kind of get lazy with some of your technique things, and I think that's kind of helped Tanner out a bunch, just being able to take a consistent drop and be consistent with his footwork, so you can see what he did on Thursday and go out there and put a complete game together. So.
What is the ceiling for Tanner McKee? That seems to be the biggest question. I mean, a lot of people are saying this guy's good enough to be a starter in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I believe so, 1,000%, and I think, as he continues to learn and grow and get more experience, he'll definitely continue to show that. But, just like the rest of us, I think he's more so focused on the process and keeping it one day at a time and, enjoying the wins as they come, for sure.
What's been the key for you to kind of have this longevity here and just be a part of this for so long?
Do what they tell me to do, be an asset in the locker room, the meeting room. For me, it's been an interesting role. I'm sure y'all have seen it over 7 years. As a backup, you don't really get set at one position. You just kind of work at the position that's available, whatever they tell you to do. And, again, just be able to kind of pass the culture along to the new guys and just impart whatever wisdom that's been imparted on me along the years.
How lucky do you feel that you've been here? You left for a little bit and came back, but for the most part, you've been here for 7 years. How fortunate do you feel?
Very fortunate. I wouldn't say lucky. I'm one of those people that you kind of make your own luck. What was that? Ben Franklin that once said, "It seems harder I work, the luckier I get."
Obviously, I haven't worked hard enough because I'm not where I'm at yet. And but yeah, fortunate's definitely a good word. Just being in this room, the culture y'all have seen over the years. I mean, you just go through the ancestry of the offensive line room. You go from the Jason Peters, the Jason Kelce's, the Brandon Brooks, the Isaac Samalus, and we're in it now with Lane Johnson. And then comes the Jordan Mailata, the Cam Jerkins, the Landon Dickerson. I mean, it's over past only 10, 15 years. Those are the guys that are in there.
You forgot
14. No, I said
did you?
Jason.
My bad.
I said him after JP. But unbelievable when you look at it. And the standard they set, I feel like that's also a hard part, especially for me being here for so long, is when that's your standard, I'm very hard on myself. That's a pretty difficult standard to match in a lot of cases. But again, anytime I'm in there filling in, whether Landon's taking less reps, if I'm at left guard, right guard, it's being able to perform to that standard to where Jordan's comfortable. He's not having to change his game at all. Whether I'm next to Lane, he's not having to change his game. But fortunate, definitely.
Brett, from a mental standpoint, you played at multiple positions.
Yeah.
How do you prepare yourself for that?
You try to simulate it. I want to say, because when you get to your game day 8, realistically, most stress comes from not knowing which one. As we got further last year in the playoffs, that's how it kind of rolled out. And it's interesting. You could try and prepare all you want at right guard, but all of a sudden the left one goes down. So that's why making it as realistic in practice is important. You know, sometimes I'll straight up tell Stout, don't tell me. Just once it comes up, you go. And the true difficulty behind it is just, like you said, there's so many nuances within a game plan that triggers different, I guess, like thought processes. Whether you're at center, you start the entire run scheme, the passing scheme, and everyone else kind of works off of it. Whether in read schemes, the tackles are looking for different indicators. It's difficult mentally, but you got to be able to kind of just switch hats. And then it comes down to physically. You know, you see our guards, they're more stout, our center's lighter. It's tough. And that's why a big person to watch was Isaac Samalu, who in one game's gone through center, guard, tackle, and tight end before, and it's impressive in itself. And it's difficult, but you got to do it. You know, that's kind of the role you get thrown into for the team.
And you mentioned you feel like part of your responsibility is showing that culture to the young guys. When they come in, what do you tell them?
Shoot. Right away, nothing. You just kind of have to see the demeanor. I mean, one guy that really stands out, Drew Kendall, man. He's already professional coming in as a rookie. And, again, it's not from performance, but it's honestly just carrying yourself the right way and just kind of learning a whole new scheme. And that's a difficult part. You go to different teams, different playbooks, different verbiage. He's picked it up really well. And a big part of, I feel like, being a vet, especially in our room where it's different than a lot of places, is that vets are actually there to kind of bring them with them. You know, and that's a part to why the ancestry of the O-line room here is like that, because you just have guys that care about the legacy of our room and the next guy that comes after him. And I'm excited to see Drew's career as well. He's already done really well in that first game. And, again, he's a professional. He's the first one to tell you there's a few things he needs to work on, but the biggest one is just attacking the next day.
What have you seen from Tyler Steen in this competition?
Man, he's stout. You can feel. I want to say the first time I really felt the difference was even before the pregame against Cincinnati. Kind of had me do a drill that Isaac used to do as well, and it was, I think, the first time that he actually put hands on me while I was like going against him. And it was one of those like pause moments to where you're just like, oh, that's different. And again, it's all about how we work next to each other, and he's fitting in really well. And you look at the guys we're going against, whether it be Morrow, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. All three of them are great guys that are going to make us all better. And I think for the offensive line room as well is you're going to get beat. Everyone gets paid. You know, the guy across from you gets paid. They're going to have good reps, and it's how you respond the next time. And I think that's a huge part in seeing Steen's jump as well, is just how adversity has come and how he's responded. And I'm excited to see his year this year.
What was the drill?
So essentially it's kind of what you're working reactionary-wise. You'll work one side, work the next side, work another side, and then hit the bull rush. You know, so the trick is you never really know when the power's coming, and his ability to just sit, and you have to be able to match that kind of power. Oh, I felt it. Gotcha. Is there any?
I mean, if people don't get hurt, you're not going to play. How tough is it to put in the work and get better and improve? Because obviously you wouldn't be here if you hadn't gotten better each year. And just kind of accept that role that, I'm going to be a backup with these guys.
Shoot, that's a love-hating relationship, honestly. And it's a tough one because coming here, you see the room we have. Last year, I think all 5 guys got all-pro votes, at least one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's happened multiple times. A lot of organizations have never been that fortunate. But that's something I've kind of internally had to battle because with that realization, you'd have a better chance going somewhere else. But a part of it is, and it's in different people's DNA, when you see greatness, whatever facet it's in, whether it's you doing it yourself or just our O-line room as a whole, you just can't let go of it, and that's what I see on a day-to-day basis. I love those guys. I love the work they put in, just the mindset that we have as a whole. And I'm sure down the road I'll have that question of what if I should have done this, made more money somewhere else. But at the end of the day, I've got to witness an unbelievable run that a lot of people have never been able to see, and I'm grateful to be a part of it in what role or way I can be.